I can see the Wallace and Stevens engine is extremely ready and in place over here. What a wonderful example of a product from Hampshire. This is extremely well turned out by our good friend Gerald Whittaker over here. He is a painter and sign writer. He has done all the restoration, all the painting, all the lining, all the engineering, the whole lot himself. This engine is a real credit to look at. If any of you get any 5 minutes to just have a stare at it, it really is something to behold. There's a few engines just trundling around in the last of the steering engine from the public, and once they have done, they're all going to line up on the opposite side of the arena. Here goes a really good friend of mine. This is Greg. Greg looks after this engine. This engine belongs to the Tinkers Park Trust. Greg has his own steam roller himself, and he has spent many hours restoring it, and he has been doing lots of steam engine rallies with it this year for the first time in an extremely long time, owing to lots of boiler work and mechanical work. Greg is an old hand at steam engines, so driving Southern Queen round this rally today is no problem to this man at all.
I'll just interrupt for a minute just to say I've been given a bit more lost property. I get all the exciting jobs. This one is a child sun hat, pale blue colour. So if your kid suddenly got his head out in the sun and you're wondering where the hat's gone, it's over here at the commentary point.
A really interesting selection of engines for the slow race today. So like I said, the slow race is a normal race, but instead of the winner is the first one, the winner is actually the last one. And so if you look on the opposite side of the arena, we are collecting a good selection of steam engines. We've got traction engines, we've got showman's engines, we've even got a steam wagon, and we've got a ploughing engine joining us from 1873. 1873. What an age that is. I'll be really interested to see which is actually the slowest one out of all of this, because that is the aim of this race. The last one to the opposite side of the arena will actually be the winner, not the first one. Foden's and built steam wagons, and so did Sentinels. Steam wagons were the latter of the steam engines, and we're lucky here to have a Sentinel steam lorry over here on the other side. This is the Shepherd Neame Faversham Sentinel steam lorry. This one, the red one over there, this machine is pretty apt for doing a turn of probably 40 or 50 miles an hour. I mean, you wouldn't even believe that of a steam engine compared with its next door neighbour, which still is a steam tractor and perfectly capable of probably 12 or 14 miles an hour. When you bring round to something like Royalty, which is capable of 3 or 4 miles an hour. The ploughing engine from 1873, who even knows? I mean, these old engines, they could do quite an interesting depth of speed from very slow speeds to extremely high speeds. So we'll see how they get on. Now we can see Royalty's doing a mega manoeuvre over here. Nathan, what is going on, Nathan? Backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. So what we're going to describe to you, members of the public who are engineeringly minded, there is a difference between a compound engine and a single cylinder engine. Royalty has one cylinder, so the idea of getting her to go backwards or forwards is always a little bit complicated. You can't just set off, you have to rock the motion, work with the lever in his left hand. You'll see him rocking that lever from backwards to forwards to get the old machine going. So unfortunately, royalty's leaving us. Nathan said he's done a lot of work and is extremely hot today. We are grateful for his efforts and very fortunate that he was participating in the steer a steam engine, but he said he needs to get some water and have a bit of a drink and cool down, which we can totally understand in this heat. But we are lucky enough to have 5 steam engines over the other side of the arena, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, we've got a Wallace and Stevens agricultural engine, we've got a Garrett 4CD Showman's engine, we've got an Aveling and Porter convertible Showman's engine, we've got a Sentinel steam wagon and an extremely old ploughing engine. So that's a really, really good eclectic mix of steam vehicles. Right, so the rules of the game, it might sound simple, going as slow as you can from one side of the arena to the other, but it's not just as simple as that. You mustn't stop or you mustn't stall. So the keen-eyed engineering people amongst you will have noticed that on the traction engines, on the top of the boiler they have a thing called a flywheel. Well, this flywheel mustn't stop, like you mustn't stall your car, because everybody takes the mickey and they will laugh at you. So you mustn't do that in your progression towards the other side of the arena. And also you must go in a straight line as well. The steam lorry doesn't have a flywheel, so we are absolutely, completely and utterly unsure whether you stall or you don't, but we're going to overlook that. Like we were saying earlier, this game's often plagued with skullduggery and a bit of disaster. The other people want to sabotage the other engine owners. So what we do, we're going to see who's paying attention. When everybody's ready, if you'd like to blow your whistles. Or beep your hooters, that's very good. Sentinel steam lorry. Tugboat whistle, yep, very good. So what I'm going to do, after 3, I'm going to count you in, and it's the last one to be on the opposite side of the arena. So when you are ready, 1, 2, 3, off we go. There we go, the Garrett Showman's engine was the first to be away. You'll notice the little puffs of steam coming out of underneath the bottom of the boiler barrel. These are called cylinder drain cocks. Again, back to the technically minded of you, these let the steam out of the cylinder, they also let the water out of the cylinder, but if you use them in this race, they will slow the steam engine down. Second away, we have the ploughing engine from 1873. Look at this beast, this leviathan of engineering technology. I mean, what a sight to behold. You can see the flywheel there majestically turning round at a very slow pace of revs. Look how slow those wheels are moving. This just proves how much horsepower this machine has. Coming up now next to those, that is the Sentinel steam wagon. He is producing a very slow speed of revs. But what's this? Greg, I think, has completely and utterly got the wrong end of the stick, and he thinks the first one to the other side of the arena is the winner. Unfortunately, he's also disobeyed the rules of going in a straight line and completely made a whole mockery. Greg, what are you doing? Oh, Sentinel's following him behind. I think these steam engine owners get bored, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think?
Sure.
Everybody thinks steam engines go slow. I think going slow in the steam engine is actually just as boring as going slow in a car. Over on the far side, the Wallace is doing a fantastic job.
What the hell's he doing?
See that flywheel just continually to keep moving. Gerald is a very experienced driver, and the old traction engine's been doing this for about 130 or 140 years, so both of them know what they're doing. The little Garrett Showman's engine is making steady progress across the arena. Again, like I said, look underneath,
what the hell
steam coming out of the
was he
drain
doing?
box. That allows him to travel at a little bit of a slower speed.
Southern Queen just went completely
The faster
berserk.
engines of the two, we've got the Sentinel and we've got the Aveling. They've probably done 2 or 3 laps compared with the other guys. So we're down to just 3 in this race.
Yeah, I think the Sentinel was never going to take this. Too fast.
Look at the ploughing engine, ladies and gentlemen, this green one over here. This one's called the Mistress.
Look
This
at
machine has been totally restored by the chap that owns it and has done a wonderful job. What a credit to him. and we're very lucky enough to be able to see the crankshaft in this. So our modern cars, they've all got crankshafts, haven't they? But nobody can see them. They're all bathed under an oil bath in the bottom of your, in the bonnet somewhere that nobody knows where it is. This thing's right on
Sentinel's
top,
kicking off again.
full view. You can see it going round, just constantly and slowly and steadily. That's the skill of the driver, that is. The man up there is operating the steam and the reversing lever. He's admitting a tiny bit of steam by hand into the cylinder block and keeping the machine going. Garrett's doing really well over here. These are lovely, these 4CD tractors. This one is fitted with a dynamo, called a showman's tractor. This was commonly used in the fair, like I said earlier. These machines would have towed a fairground ride, a fun fair ride to a local farm, a local playground, a local playing field, and set up with a fun fair ride and used the dynamo on the front to generate electricity, which 100 years ago, nobody would have seen electricity. That's right. Oh, and he's doing a bit of a turn. Some people would say it's innovation, other people would say that's cheating. Good effort though. So we're actually just down now through cheating and through skullduggery to just 2 engines. The Mistress, this ploughing engine over here, and Gerald Whittaker's wonderful Wallace and Stevens expansion engine over here.
I think the ploughing engine's going to take it.
Gerald's slightly in the lead, which makes him actually the loser, and the Mistress is just plodding along here in bottom gear. They have 2 speeds, these steam engines. The bottom gear is probably the slowest, although with the older engines, the faster gear, the top gear, is actually usually pretty quick. What's occurring? Oh, you shook the rules, you have. I didn't say whether it was to go backwards or forwards. I tell you, these engine owners, as an arena commentator, I really struggle sometimes. Not in a horrible way, in a wonderful way. I've got to be so explicit in the rules. I can't deny your flywheel hasn't stopped, and you haven't stopped motion. So technically, you are still in the lead. The Sentinel is still doing its own thing, backwards, forwards. Who knows? Give it. What kind of idea? Anything? No. Shrug of the shoulders. Nobody knows there. And the ploughing engine on the other side is just about to come into bay. And I'm probably going to get run over.
Ploughing engine's the only one that's got any dignity out of this. Well, looks of things.
Steady, steady. It's all in your own benefit. What do you reckon, Reuben?
I don't really know, Fred. You'd have to ask her who makes the decisions.
So these Sentinel steam wagons, how hot is it in there, Reuben?
It's jolly warm.
I'm not surprised, I promise you. I'll come round in a minute. Yeah, I will in a moment. Yep. So here we have it. Look, we've just been made attention. I'm going to say, despite Gerald's valiant efforts of shirking the rules, I'm actually going to have to give it to the Mistress over here. So ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the Mistress, who actually did a proper job. Come on, a little bit louder than that. Can't hear you. Lovely, lovely. They were the official winners. But nonetheless, to a valiant effort from all engines and crew that love to diverse from the rules. Right, what we're going to do next, we're going to do what's called a back-to-back race, hopefully. We're going to see who's going to stay in for this one. I think Gerald's off out. Yeah, he definitely got too hot. That's totally understandable. Okay, a slight change of plan, ladies and gentlemen, owing to the lack of steam engines. Bless the poor old mistress over here. It's very, very hot. There's no canopy, there's no shield. So we totally understand that they've got to go. They've been in here for about the last 2 hours. What we're going to do, we've got a Sentinel steam lorry and we've got an Aveling and Porter steam showman's engine over here, and we're going to do a slalom race. So the slalom race involves a line of cones where you have to go in one cone, out of the other cone, around the top cone at the end in a U-turn, which you might think, well, that's nothing problematic, but in your car it wouldn't be, but on a steam engine, oh my goodness. So you wait till you see how many turns of steering they've got to do, and then race back to the first place where they start. So what we're going to do, we're going to start one in one corner and we're going to start one in the other corner. It's a little bit different. This also helps to make sure that none of them collide in the middle, which is a very important fact. Right, so we're just going to lose the ploughing engine, the old ploughing engine's going to go. So we're left with Southern Queen, the Aveling and Porter tractor, and we're left with the Sentinel steam lorry, the red one over here. The Shepherd and Neem one.
No, it's, well, could say it like that. It's actually Shepherd Neem. Yeah, but there's the true winner of the slow race that right there. The one called Mistress, the ploughing engine, as he said, 1873. I've seen two of these in action before at a ploughing match.
Okay, if the steam engines that we've got left in the arena would like to set up in lines of the cones. One over there for the Sentinel, one over here for the Aveling. Well, I've just been informed that the man on the microphone here, I'm not allowed to organise anything. It's all down to the engine owners who have just completely and utterly changed all of the rules for this for the third time, but nonetheless it'll still be fun. What we're going to do, we're going to park the Sentinel over there, and we're going to have the Aiden tractor over here, and what they're going to do, they're going to race to the opposite sides, swap sides with the cones, and then come back down the opposite sides. But long and story short, the first one back to home is the winner.
Might make their minds up in a minute.
Well done, Jack, my glamorous assistant, for setting out the cones. Jack, are you hot? Yeah. Jack's very hot, as are we all. Okay, I think we're nearly ready. So if the engine owners would like to give us a whistle or a hoot on the hooters to show they're paying attention. Nobody so far? No, nobody's paying attention. Oh, one of them is. Thank you, Southern Queen, that's great. What about the Sentinel over here? Are you ready? Oh, he's giving me away. Yep, he's definitely ready. So what we're going to do, we're going to count you in after 3. And you have to go in around the first cone, out around the second cone, a complete U-turn around the last cone, which will be a good demonstration between a Sentinel steam lorry and an Aveling and Porter steam tractor on how many turns on the steering it is. And then it's the first one in a straight line back to their home spot, opposite sides. Thank you very much. Right, are you ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3, off you go. So first away is the Sentinel there with an epic start. Southern Queen is making a dramatic disposure over here. In and around the first go. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. You've never seen a traction engine go as fast as that. The steam lorry is just coming up for his last cone, doing a massive U-turn. This will show what kind of turning circle a steam lorry has. Looking at this, it's not as good as your average car, ladies and gentlemen. Southern Queen's gone in and around the last cone on the top side and up and around the inside cone on the third side. Sentinel's coming down, it's about neck and neck. What do we think, ladies and gentlemen? Who's going to be the winner? It's about neck and neck, I tell you. Southern Queen's making a valiant effort over to his first spot. So is the Sentinel. Oh, Southern Queen's having another go. Round again. Like I said earlier, the rules just happen to go out of the window. Somebody somewhere has got to stop. It's the first one to stop in the first space. Well, Southern Queen's looking about his first space, and the Sentinel is just doing something of its own accord. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to award this trophy to Southern Queen over here with Greg on it, who has finally landed up in their original space. Round of applause. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Give us a loud round of applause. And a valiant effort from the Sentinel. I promise you, I actually know less about what's going on than what they do. Entertaining nonetheless. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how epic was that? When I say epic, I mean I actually didn't know what was going on at all. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do a bit of a tug of war, but not between two steam engines, but between a Sentinel steam lorry and the members of the public. We just happen to have here, by complete coincidence, courtesy of our glamorous assistant Jack. Jack, how heavy is this rope?
Quite heavy.
It is quite heavy, I promise you. I pulled that out yesterday. We're going to offer you a chance to pull a Sentinel steam lorry weighing probably in the region of 10 tons backwards, just due to your own human strength. We're going to attach it to the back of the wagon over here, and we're just going to shunt all the steam engines around, and once we're ready, we're going to ask you to join us in the arena for anybody who feels like their opportunity to test their strength against a Sentinel steam lorry. So give us 5 minutes, we're just going to shuffle round, and then it's up to you guys.